Meech and I got history, but I'm done living in the past.
We your only lifeline.
You're gonna have to come at him an angle he's not gonna expect.
We got a big problem.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love BMF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about BMF Season 2, Episode 6. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And what an episode. All the dirt B Mickey's been doing is finally caught up to him, and now it ain't looking too good. He got hemmed up by somebody down below. I want you guys to let me know who y'all think it is. We know Detective Bryant was pissed off. I believe he ended up getting those drugs from the evidence locker, and they was going to use it for this big bust that they planned on doing in the episode. But that did not play out the way that he wanted it, and you already know he going to be at B Mickey's neck. And what do y'all think about your boy Charles in this episode? He was on one. He was having a lot of fun, but we know all that fun, all these good times, that's about to run out because we know he's going to get caught up eventually, and I cannot wait to see it. But we're going to hop right into this recap. As I told you, I will try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 6 titled Homecoming? Now the episode starts out with Meech and Terry. They're finally back in Detroit, and now they want to make sure they handle business. They got the straps ready just in case Lamar pops up. And of course, we know they have product that they got from Atlanta, and they want to introduce that to the other members of BMF to try to double up their money. Meanwhile, Alvin tells Lamar that the Flannery brothers are back in town, and they pretty much are not playing around. And Lamar, he knows this, and now he's even more motivated to, get rid of whoever gets in his way. And that's exactly what he did in this episode. Now, Meech does hear about B Mickey and that he has a new plug he's been holding strong, but we know Meech don't know anything about it because he has not talked to B Mickey, and he wants to know why he has not heard about this new information. On top of that, he's telling the crew that he has a new way for them to double their money. He can't tell him their tricks, but we know what they end up doing down in Atlanta, and they want to implement those tricks up in Detroit. Now Saki tells them that he has to drop off his son at basketball practice, and when he goes outside and uses the restroom, we see Lamar the Beast Silas. He is waiting on him. He's waiting on him. Saki tries to pull out his strap, but Lamar blows him back. That boy went flying, and then Lamar walked up to him and finished him off. I knew it was just a matter of time before we saw the end of Saki, just based off that official trailer. I knew it was not going to end well for him. Now Meech and all of them, they're pissed off. Detective Bryant, he's out there laughing. He don't care at all what's going down. He just happy that Meech is suffering, and that is good enough for him. Now Meech tells him you need to find out who did this. Just do your job. I know Meech want to get back at him. I know he want to get him. Now, you guys let me know what y'all think about your boy Hoop. This guy was trying to do business with him, basically trying to buy a product, but Hoop told him he can't do it right now, which makes a lot of sense. But then again, y'all know how they do with these camera angles and they show certain people. I got a funny feeling that Hoop may not be real loyal like that. And maybe he has his own thing going, but it's something definitely up with his character. His loyalty will be tested down the line in my opinion, but y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Now Lamar, he finds him a new friend, man's best friend. He finds him a dog. He names him Blackie, and Blackie is pretty much just like Lamar. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I got out of this, and Lamar wants to take care of him. He's like, look, you've been hurt, and I'm going to make sure you're good. Now, the owner comes out. He's pissed off. He wants to know what the hell Lamar is doing. All of a sudden, Lamar beats this guy down. He beats him down. Then he bites his ear. He was on his Mike Tyson in this episode. You don't want to run into Lamar because it's just going to end bad for you. We keep seeing that time and time again. Now, Meech is thinking about making a connection with the PA boys, and he believes if he goes to Soul Night, he can make that connection and do business with them. He knows they're crazy, and of course, maybe they can help him out with Lamar. Now, Detective Veronica Jen, she is watching Detective Bryant. Like always, she sees that he is doing something with evidence, and she's definitely going to confront him about this. But y'all know, she's been watching him since day one. She knows this dude is always up to no good, but she wants to be aware on what he is doing just in case something goes down. Now we get to be snitchy. He's having dreams about Kato. We can see the belly. He's dreaming about his unborn child, and all of a sudden we see the gun. and his dream turns into a nightmare. He wakes up, he hears somebody knocking at the door, and I mean, look at the guy. He's sweating, he's stressed out. Now Meech pops up, he's having a conversation with B. Mickey, and he's talking about the medical grade stuff. Of course, B. Mickey is lying to him, talking about everything did not go through. And of course, Meech is telling him, like, look, the drought is over. He has the connection in Atlanta with Ty Washington. Everything is good. And, you know, B. Mickey is still upset that Meech left. And he was mad that Terry was calling the shots the last time they was all together. So he's not really feeling anything Meech is talking about. But Meech is telling him, like, look, everything gonna be cool. We good. We gonna continue to do the business. And he tries to, of course, dap B. Mickey up. But B. Mickey wasn't trying to dap him up at all. So even after all of this mess, not communicating, because we know Meech does not like phones, and B. Mickey was pissed off. But besides all that, Meech was still cool with him. Like, look, we can squash all that. It is what it is. Let's handle business. But B. Mickey wasn't on it. And just to see how Meech continued to react to B. Mickey, to look out for him, makes it even worse that he continued to lie to him, and he didn't tell him about Detective Bryant until the very end. Now, Lawanda, she sneaks into Terry's room. We notice that she grabs his belt, and a lot of you guys, I've been seeing that y'all been saying maybe her mom or whatever, they're trying to set him up. Maybe she's on some voodoo stuff. She doing something. That's what we do know. Something's not right. Whatever it is, she's trying to screw Terry over. And she's telling him, like, look, can we take family pictures and all this stuff? And telling him, look, are you back in the game? He tells her, yes, he is back in the game, but he's going to make sure that they are, you know, taken care of. Lawanda, all of a sudden, she really doesn't care about all of that, right? She just wants to be with Terry no matter what. So we're going to see how this all goes. We know by the end of the episode, Lawanda's demeanor kind of changed once Terry and her kind of got into it. But they're definitely up to something, her and her moms, when it comes to Terry. Now, Veronica Jen, she does confront Detective Bryant about what he was doing with Smitty in the evidence. He tells her the truth. He's like, look, I took these 2 bricks to try to bust Meech with it with my CI. And she tells him she's down for the cause because she is tired of getting yelled at, getting in trouble from the boss. And of course, she just wants to be able to get a win. So we know they definitely don't get a win by the end of the episode. They end up taking another L. Now, Meech goes to Soul Night. He's all dressed up. He got money out. He's being flashy. He runs into your boy, Jalen Rose. And in this episode, I believe your boy, Jalen Rose, is playing a character named Tariq. And of course, we know he is a basketball player. And we know Jalen Rose actually had connections with BMF. He talked about it. I believe they did like a documentary or whatever, or like a questionnaire. And Jalen Rose was talking about how he knew all of them and everything like that. And they always looked out for him. So I'm glad they put that in this story. Now, Meech does run into Sterling and the PA boys. He's trying to buy them drinks, but Sterling ain't really trying to have it. They do remember Meech from, of course, being with K9. And then all of a sudden, we see Sterling and the PA boys get into it, I guess with some guys from 6 Mile, and they get into a fight. Meech jumps in to help them out. And by him doing this, it helps him make that connection with Sterling and the PA boys. And they're going to end up meeting up later on in the episode. Now we get to your boy, Terry. Of course, Raw Dog Charles is there, Lucille. And Terry's teacher comes by the house talking about he wants to help Terry make up on all his work. He's missed out on a lot of school, but Terry ain't trying to hear it. Terry don't want to be in school. Charles tells him, like, look, we're already disadvantaged as it is, and having an education, all that's going to do is help you out. I don't want you to end up like me. Terry still ain't trying to hear it. Terry is talking about all these people that done dropped out and that are very successful, white and black people, and he's not trying to do this anymore. Terry, he definitely put his foot down, let his parents know he wants to do things his way, and he's not doing things the way they want him to do it, which at the end of the day, that's just how he wants to roll. So it is what it is. Now we see Monique, she's having a conversation with Meech about Lamar, and she's telling him, like, look, if you're going to go at him, you got to make sure you don't do the typical hood approach. It has to be different, because if you go at him in a way he knows you're going to come at him, he's going to be able to counter that. And in this episode, Lamar definitely countered it, and he had a little bit of help from man's best friend. Now we get to Alvin, and Alvin, he's pissed off. He's like, what the hell you doing with this dog? He's talking about the dog, and Lamar is telling him, you better apologize right now to Blackie, or I'm going to beat you down and I'm going to feed you to the dog. And Lamar, he wasn't playing around. Y'all know he was dead serious. So, of course, Alvin had to say sorry, man. This dude Lamar, man, he be on one each and every episode. Now, Raw Dog Charles has said, you know what? I'm going to take you out, Lucille, to a nice restaurant as I promised you at the very beginning of the season. Of course, we know she's stressed out because of what Terry is doing, but they're not really trying to worry about Terry and all the stuff that him and Meech is on. They're trying to focus on positivity and just have a good old time. Now, Meech hears about Nicole getting a job at the salon, and he wants to go there because y'all know Meech. He ain't just trying to get in there to get his nails fixed. This man trying to get in there and do some business. And that's exactly what he does. He ends up meeting up with the owner and he tells her, look, you trying to double your profits. And y'all know she down for the cause. So once again, Meech is able to make a connection with somebody. And it seems like he wants to continue to expand at all levels. And you can tell Nicole is pissed off. She knows her brother Meech is up to no good. And she does address the owner later on in the episode. Now we get to Terry. He done picked up Markeisha. Boom done kicked her out. She ain't got nowhere to stay. She wants to go to Terry's house. As I told y'all in my quick thoughts early impressions video, Terry don't have a place to stay. I mean, he does, but it's his parents' spot. It's not his own actual house, right? And then we see Peeping Tom Detective Bryant and Freaky Deaky Veronica Jen. They watching Terry's every move, hooking up with Markeisha, having a good old time. And she's talking about, oh, I ain't had it in so long and all that. And your boy Detective Bryant, he was on one. He's like, look, I can fix that. He's trying to get up in that, y'all. Your boy Detective Bryant, he was definitely on one in this episode. I knew once she ended up saying what she said, Detective Bryant was going to try to clap those cheeks. Now, after Terry done help Markeisha get hers off, now she decides to, switch it up a little bit. She tells him, why didn't he take her and her kids to his spot, to his mama's house, right? And of course she says, look, I know you probably got somebody. And he tells her like, look, yeah, my baby's mom and my kid is there, but he tells her that they're not really together or whatever. He's just providing for his son. And Markeisha, she's like, look, I think you should go. And I'm thinking like, really? So you decided to switch it up on him just like that? I mean, it's crazy. And I told y'all, if I was in Terry's shoes, I won't be bringing her over to my mom's house anyway. Like, my moms don't know you for one. And even if I wasn't with Lawanda, you still not coming over there. You a random person to them. They don't know you like that. I mean, my mom's gonna wake up and see you and your kids walking around the house, all in the refrigerator, eating, having a good old time. That ain't happening. So you can stay in that hotel-y and eat that free breakfast in the morning because that's about it. That's about all you getting up out of me, especially tonight. But we know she got a lot out of Terry. If I was him, I mean, you probably need to go back to Boom. Know what I'm saying? Well, you can't because he kicked you out. So I guess you're going to have to go out there in that rain. I hope you can stand it like New Edition. Then we get to your boy, Raw Dog Charles. He's having a good old time at this restaurant. He took Lucille out. Everything is all good, but we know Lucille does bring up the fact that she approached Sister Riley and told her, I asked her if she was messing around with Charles. Of course, that was not the case. Charles talking about, I'm faithful and all that. I will never do this. I will never do that. I mean, his underarm pits was probably sweating. I mean, he probably thought she was going to mention your girl Mabel Jones, but that did not happen. But Charles definitely played that out real smooth, knowing he fantasizing about Mabel Jones. And he probably was feeling like, man, I really pulled that off. I'm unstoppable. But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of time before he is caught slipping. As I told y'all, I cannot wait to see that. Now we get to Lamar and Monique. He takes the dog to her to show her the dog, talking about he's trying to teach an old dog new tricks and how, he wants to make sure this dog turns out good. Monique is like, look, that's not no pet. That's a monster. That dog flat out crazy, just like you. I mean, pretty much. This dog is exactly like Lamar. And she tells him caring for a beaten dog is not going to change the past. So hopefully Monique can continue to take that advice, because if she does slip back up and takes Lamar back in, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know it's not going to end well. And as I told y'all when we talked about that Lamar promo, we see the two looking like they're about to make out or something is about to happen. So I'm hoping it is like a setup and she's not getting back with him, because if that is the case, that will be her downfall. Then we get to Meech and Terry. We got Hoop out there. Of course, the PA boys, they're out there as well, and even Roland. And then all of a sudden, Dink pops up and he's talking about product, how he got screwed over by Terry. And Terry's kind of confused, like, what are you talking about? And then I noticed Dink did talk about, hey, you made Hoop give me this or whatever. So as I told you guys earlier, Hoop up to something. They kind of zoomed in on him when Dink said his name. This dude definitely is doing his own thing with the product, and eventually it's going to catch back up to him. And we know Dink and Terry end up getting into a fight, and Dink was actually, having the upper hand on Terry until Meech jumped in, and then they just beat him down and jumped him. But your boy Sterling, he pulled out the strap, letting Hoop know, don't jump in, don't get involved. But we know Hoop was talking about we all family or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But as I told y'all, I don't trust him at all. Hell, family screw over family all the time. So we gonna see what your boy Hoop is on. Now, we get to your boy Charles. He goes to Mabel Jones talking about he can't mess around with her no more. He wants to focus on his marriage. But we know what time it is. Charles going over there. Y'all know Mabel ain't gonna stop. She gonna continue to push up on him. And look at him. This boy looked like he done caught the Holy Ghost, and he could not resist her. And now he gave her the early morning special. He said, screw all that quick stuff. I'm gonna take my time with this one today. And just like the last episode, your boy Charles is having back-to-back banger episodes. But we know eventually this will all catch up to him. Now, Nicole, she is talking to her boss, and she's like, look, what the hell is you doing with my brother? I know something is up. And she's talking about your brother pay for some services and stuff like that. We know what time it is. Meech, he is expanding the business, and Nicole, she's not falling for it. Now, Hoop, he's having a conversation with Meech, and Meech is telling him he hoped that whole thing with Dink does not get to him and everything is okay. And we know Hoop is talking about, how he's down for the cause. He gonna roll with the punches. I mean, Meech is just trying to make sure he has some loyal soldiers on his side. And he tells him, like, look, go ahead and take the car. It's yours. What's mine is yours. But as I told y'all, I don't think this whole thing is over. I think he's up to something. And it's just a matter of time, just like everybody else, until he gets exposed. Now, we get to your boy Terry. He goes back to the hotel. We see that your girl Markeisha done left him a little note talking about she wants some financial stability or something like that. And she tells him that, yes, boom is bad, but she wants to be financially secure. Look, if I was Terry, I'd be like, you know what? I ain't got time for all this. I ain't got time for all this. But we know Terry, he gonna go and he gonna save her. He gonna do what he got to do to get back with her, in my opinion. But y'all know he was definitely in his feelings in this scene. We can see Detective Veronica Jen. They're watching his every move. It was funny as hell when it was watching Terry and Markeisha hook up the night before, and Detective Bryant was talking about somebody's hungry. Detective Veronica Jen was like, I know I am. That girl was ready, y'all. She is ready, and I got that funny feeling her and Detective Bryant just may end up hooking up by the end of the season. But we know after everything went down between Terry and Markeisha, she was talking about trying to use that as an advantage to get to Terry, since she knows that he's messing around with two different females. Now, we know Detective Bryant was talking about how he needs to go do something for his son, but we know that was not the case. He was really going to meet up with B. Mickey, and Detective Veronica Jen catches on by the end of the episode. Now, Meech can tell something's going on with K9. He's very upset. K9 is not trying to pay the plug. I guess he owes him $20 million. So this is the perfect opportunity for Meech to step in and try to make a deal with that plug. We should be seeing that in the next upcoming episode. Now, Detective Bryant, he meets up with B. Mickey. He wants to make sure this whole game plan is going to go the way he wants it to go. And then all of a sudden, Detective Veronica Jen, she walks in. So she knows what he's been doing. She catches him in the lie once again. And she wants to make sure that B. Mickey is very comfortable doing this big, meetup that he's going to be doing with Meech as far as those drugs. They're trying to catch him slipping, right? And B. Snitchy, he's going right along with the game plan. I'm just looking like, dude, you could have changed all of this around if you would have just let Meech know in the first place, but it is what it is. Now, Meech and Terry are having a conversation about, that plug, of course, the Colombian Connect. Terry's like, nah, we can't be going behind K9's back and doing that. But Meech is like, this is the perfect opportunity for us to do this in order for us to expand the organization. Now, the PA boys decide that they're going to try to take out Lamar. As we talked about, if you go at Lamar, you got to make sure you don't miss. And these guys slipped up. They wasn't expecting Lamar to have Blackie on his side. Having that dog pretty much helped Lamar get these guys. And that's exactly what ended up happening. He ended up taking both of these guys out. And of course, it was very brutal. Lamar's like, look, did Meech send y'all? And then after he asked the question and he figured that Meech was the one behind this, he caught another body. So it seems like Lamar definitely adjusted to Meech and Terry coming back to Detroit. And he's not going to stop no time soon. Now, we get to Terry And of course, Lawanda, he drops her off at her mom's spot, and she can tell that something's not right between Terry and Lawanda. And of course, she tells her, you know what you gotta do, because it doesn't seem like Terry really wants to be with you. And we see Lawanda, she goes and grabs the bag. We know she had his belt. She also says she had his jacket and his chain. So she's up to something. A lot of you guys mentioned that y'all believe is like voodoo or something like that. At the end of the day, what we do know is this. She's trying to set Terry up for the okie doke. And from the looks of it, it ain't looking too good for him. So I can't wait to see how this all is going to end by the end of the season. Now we get to B Mickey. He goes and meets up with Meech. And Meech is telling him like, look, I bought some burial plots for Kato, your moms, and you. So that way y'all can all be together. And B Mickey, he's shocked. Like, man, like, why would you even do something like that? We know B Mickey has that hat on. And Meech is like, why did you even have that hat on? You don't even wear hats. But he kind of bypasses that. But he tells B Mickey, like, look, he loves him. And at the end of the day, he appreciated everything that he's done. He's always been there since day one. And B Mickey finally felt like this was the time to let Meech know he done slipped up. Like, you waited all the way to the end to do this. I mean, after Meech did all this and told you you're going to be king, you're going to run your own territory, you're about to be the boss. Now it's time to tell him, talking about you didn't have no choice. You had a choice, so now it's time for you to deal with those consequences, and we know it's not going to end well for B Mickey. Now Meech gets up out of there, and B Mickey ends up leaving right after, and Detective Veronica Jen and Detective Bryant, they go in there, and it's too late, you know what I'm saying? They done escaped, and they took the drugs, and y'all know that Detective Bryant, he was pissed off. And as I told y'all, ain't no use for B Mickey to be talking. You know what I'm saying? You had a whole lot of time to let this man know the truth. And you can go ahead and kiss any type of, brotherhood that y'all done had goodbye. It's over. And y'all know Detective Bryant, he wasn't just going to let B Mickey get away. This is why I believe he probably was the one that snatched him up at the end of the episode. But we shall find out soon. Now B Mickey, he goes and he visits his mom, telling her that, he's left some money with her, with the nurse, and he's going to be leaving for a while. Well, it's a little bit too late for that. Your time is up. And as he goes outside to get his last little smoke on, he gets snatched up just like that. And a lot of people want to know who it is. As I told y'all, I will not be surprised if it is Detective Bryant. I mean, that evidence being taken out and, B Mickey having something to do with that evidence being gone. Y'all know Detective Bryant ain't going to let that slide. I can't really see Meech doing it, especially knowing that this man had that wire on him and he doesn't really want to be connected to anything that B Snitchy was out there doing. But y'all let me know, man, what did you think about episode 6? It was a solid episode. I did find it kind of funny when B Mickey told Meech that Kato was carrying his seed. Meech pretty much told him like, damn, like that's messed up. But he got right back to business, and you can tell that B Mickey was kind of upset with that. But even though Meech kind of seemed like he didn't care that much, it showed at the end of the episode that he actually did care by buying those burial plots for Kato and his moms and B Mickey, if that is what he wanted. But we know B Mickey done messed all of that up and it's not looking too good for him. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this next episode with the whole Colombian Connect. And of course, your boy Meech going behind K9's back to make that deal. It's about to get crazy and I cannot wait to see it. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.